Video from Modern Dating here. She was shocked as her ex filed for divorce without warning.
6 weeks ago, my husband, the love of my life, my rock, sat down and said he needed to talk to me. Long story short, he is not happy and wants a divorce. I begged, I pleaded, please give me a chance. Give me a chance. I wasn't perfect. I nagged. I did things that are not divorce worthy.
She acknowledged that she did things in the marriage that could affect her husband, but she didn't expect him to file for divorce over it. He got her off guard.
You know how many times or how many men have begged their woman not to divorce them? Now it's a woman in that position.
So I came across this lady's video. As you can see, she lives in San Diego. And she said that 6 weeks ago, her husband came to her and said he needed to talk. And what did he want to talk about? He wanted a divorce. Now, she said they were getting ready to break ground on a new house. They had retired. They had paid off all of their debt, all of their bills, including paying off their current house. They were planning a trip for 2025, and they had just booked a bucket list trip for Italy. And he said that he wanted a divorce. What was the reason? He said that he was unhappy and he wanted out. Now, she's not saying anything that this man did bad. And I'm thinking this man paid off all of the bills. This man paid off all of the debt. Then she says, I nagged. Then she says, I did things that doesn't deserve divorce. Then she tried to then blame him by saying he kept all of his emotions inside.
There's a reason he did that, and I know most would understand. Sometimes it's better to stay quiet.
And he didn't express them. And when he did express them, he threw me in the trash. Do you guys know what that man was missing in this entire marriage and why he's not happy? And he decided to divorce now. He's been missing peace. He's been missing peace. Had the money, had the houses, had the cars, had the career, had all of that other stuff. He's been missing peace this entire time. And he's decided, hey, the bills are paid off. We can split the assets evenly, do what we got to do, and we can go our separate ways.
If he wants peace, he should provide it to her also. It goes both ways.
But she hasn't complained to say he was doing something wrong, and she's admitting that she was doing some things to him that are not divorce worthy. Lady, what peace are you talking about?
She only cheated once. He is so controlling. He waited till he could have a clean split. Not just peace, he was missing respect. If you cannot be husband's peace, he will find somewhere else. Most men want gratitude and appreciation. Most of us know that usually, men are the last jumping out of the boat. We do everything we can to keep the family together. However, sometimes things get to a point where we don't have more options but leave. Most likely it was the place her ex-husband got to. He had enough and the only thing left was filing for divorce. He is probably a man who didn't want to be in that relationship for years, but he still held on for a while, hoping that things would change. However, it didn't happen. At this point, it would be nice if we were able to hear from him as well, and I know our mouths would probably drop, because if he left, it meant that a lot was going on in that relationship. If a man can't find peace in his home, I am sure he will find it elsewhere, and it could also be the reason he is gone. Some used to take these things for granted, and this is why they end up losing their partner. Maybe her relationship wouldn't have ended if she had paid attention to the little things she overlooked while they were together. But it's a bit late as he is already gone. Hopefully things worked out how he expected and he found whatever he wanted.
He wanted divorce because you made his life a misery. Nag, women have absolutely no idea how bad that is. She only cheated once, and once is one time too many. My mother taught me to give him peace, give him some cooked food, and give him the reason to come home. Oh, so the comment section is just so fired up. Let's continue.
6 weeks ago, my husband, the love of my life, my rock, sat down and said he needed to talk to me. Long story short, he is not happy and wants a divorce. We had just put a deposit on a bucket list trip to Italy for 2025. He told me this and I was so devastated. I screamed, I cried, I begged, I pleaded, please give me a chance. Give me a chance. I wasn't perfect. I nagged.
That's one.
Did things that are not divorce worthy.
This statement alone tells us that she knows why he left, and now she wants to convince herself that whatever she did shouldn't be enough to lead him to file for divorce. But based on how their story unfolded, he has a different opinion.
But when you're a man that does not stand up for yourself ever, when you're a man that keeps every single emotion inside and pretends that everything is hunky-dory, everything's great, how long can you do that for before you explode? And that's exactly what he did. We retired a year and a half ago. We paid off our house. We got rid of any debt we had, and we retired. And now he wants a divorce.
Memo to the ladies. A man knows when you really don't love him. He can be unhappy all by himself. There was probably no love, no affection, possibly an affair, that he can no longer live with. Peace is everything. I don't blame him at all. I was in a relationship, and it got to the point that every time she walked through the door, she said something negative every time first thing. She did things that didn't deserve to be divorced. That's all I needed to hear. This event made her understand that she had a great man by her side. He displayed the characteristic of someone who made the decision to end their marriage long ago, but he didn't do it because he was waiting for the right moment, and based on what she said, he just wanted to ensure that she was good when it's time to throw the towel. She mentioned that he waited until they had all the debts sorted, the house paid, and then he called it off. That's the behavior of someone who wanted to do things the right way. The reality is that he wanted to make sure that she was financially good and was able to walk on her own feet. That gesture alone shows how great he is. Even though he wasn't happy, he decided to stick around until she was financially stable.
I did things that are not divorce worthy.
This was the most important part of this clip. Basically, she believes that the things she has done weren't enough to be served the divorce paper.
Well, in our mind, but are you going to at least be considerate how the other guy feels? Because if it was the other way around, if the man, imagine if men started making videos and talking about how they got divorced, and they got divorced because they did things that were not divorce worthy. Imagine, men will just be married for 6 months. Once he does things that are not divorce worthy, the marriage ends, because modern women divorce men for not doing anything. She just be like, oh, you know what, I don't feel like being married anymore, I feel like being single. Maybe she watches some videos about maybe some divorced woman who makes a video about having freedom when you're divorced. You understand that kind of thing. And then they divorce these men. Some they do it because so that they get a payment lump sum, you know. Some they do it so that they just go back to the streets. But for most part, it's for financial gain. You understand? So that they start exploring things that they didn't or they couldn't do in marriage. That happens a lot. Now imagine if men made videos or men were doing things that are not divorce worthy. Something.
But this is where she got it wrong. She has a different understanding of what happened in their relationship, which explains why his decision surprised her. While she thought it was nothing, he was already planning his exit. He was just waiting for the right moment to pull the trigger. And he did it when both of them were in a position where they would be comfortable on their own.
Okay, I don't love this video, y'all. Okay, so her husband worked a 48-hour shift. I think he's a firefighter. Met him at church, and then came home and built this furniture that was just sitting there waiting for him. And she says he's happy to do it because he's a good man. Yeah, he's a good man. Doesn't mean that furniture should be sitting there waiting for him. In my opinion, I feel like you're taking advantage of his kindness. Sometimes, as husbands, we would like for our wives to step up. Today, he may be willing to do it, but I'm telling you, there's going to come a day when he walks in and there's furniture sitting there waiting for him, and he's going to have a breakdown.
That's true. At some point, he will realize they are not working as a team, and this will affect most people, even the kind ones. Working as a team feels better as it indicates that we are there for each other instead of having one person carrying most of the load.
And here's my problem with it. You created another video gaslighting the world. People who were trying to comment to you, telling you, even though he's willing to do it, this isn't good.
You want the wife to step up after she's just done 2 days of solo parenting? If he's a good man, then he is capable of saying no. He creates his own boundaries. Nobody else. She's not taking advantage. He's a good man, but also that's just too much. A 48-hour shift is insane, providing for you. I would have comfy clothes ready and a hot meal done. He needs rest. Why are you turning this heartwarming video into something controversial? He has a point. Even though the guy assembling the bed is a good man who wouldn't mind doing things for his family regardless of how tired he is, he would still appreciate some gestures from his partner. This is what she still didn't understand.
And again, our comment section, or the people commenting on the video, the comments that were played on the screen there, you'll see that the women still don't get it. And you can't have an argument over this because they still don't get it. They don't get it. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.